All right, I promised I would do a Cardano update video. So we're going to be diving into the price chart, technical analysis, as well as the Cardano astrologies. That's what we do on this channel. All right, well, none of this content is financial or investment advice. This content is intended for entertainment and informational purposes only. So here is Cardano, and we are holding above this blue moving average, which is the 50, I believe, the 50-day moving average. Actually, wait, no, let me double check that. That's the 200-day moving average. All right, so there's a glimmer of hope. The only problem is you see this red line right there is going to cross down below this blue line. That's a death cross on the daily chart. The last time we had that was back here, and the price continued down for a while. So a little bit of a concern there. The only good news is that this is on the daily chart, and so it could be more of a short-term thing, hopefully in the best case, but longer term it could cause some headwinds. And of course, you know, we also got rejected here. Well, pretty much all of crypto did, and it got rejected there. That doesn't look super great. You know, I know everyone was hoping for a big move up. That's kind of what a lot of people were expecting. We didn't get that yet. We do have a bit of hope in April, perhaps, April or May, where you look at this yellow global liquidity line, which Cardano has been following pretty closely. Yeah, you just look at historically. You know, the yellow line went up here and Cardano pumped like crazy. We're going to get a pump very soon towards the end of the month, in the next couple weeks here. So we will see if it confirms another move up. That would be very nice for the crypto bulls. Also volume, if you look down here at the bottom, volume has been going down, so there's that as well. Then for the stochastic RSI, typically we want to buy when it's way down here in the lows and sell when it's way up top here. It is heading down. We got a fake out here in February. At the end of February, we got cross up, but then it fell right back down. So that could be considered a fake out. And we're heading down now. We still haven't reset all the way to zero. So perhaps we still have some more downside action until we fully reset. Possibly, it's not guaranteed. But if we look at previous examples, you know, back here, 2023, September, we bottomed out at zero here. And then we got the stochastic RSI cross up on the weekly. And look, Cardano went for a nice run up here for a while there. That was the run that we had in 2023. It reset again in May and June, July of last year. But once we got that cross up, it actually didn't make that big of a move, surprisingly. It was just too early. And so we didn't get the big move until November when Trump was elected. All right, so could have more time to wait for this stochastic RSI cross up. If we look at the RSI, the good news is we made a higher high here. A lot of the other coins, such as even Bitcoin, if we look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin's making a lower high here. And Ethereum is making a much lower high. Solana has made a much lower high as well. Let me go back to Cardano. And we got a higher high, and then we're getting higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. So far, ever since July of last year. So that's looking good on the RSI. If we can continue that move up, that uptrend, then we could have more upside to go. So not bad there. If we look at Cardano versus Bitcoin, we did get a nice bounce back here February. But overall, let's see. I mean, when you zoom out, we haven't even gotten started. Like, this is nothing compared to the 2021 bull run all the way back here. We are still hanging out way down below. So this recent move was very small when you compare it to Bitcoin. When you price Cardano in how much Bitcoin. And we could also look at the weekly scale. The stochastic RSI still hasn't reset all the way down with Cardano versus Bitcoin. So there could be a bit more downside to go, possibly. You know, when we look at the last bull run, it did reset all the way to 0 before we got the big move up. All right, now if we look at the RSI, do we see anything here? Yeah, it's getting a higher high. Wow, that's nice. So it is still getting overall uptrend just compared to December 2023, and then we got this higher high in November when we got the huge swing up, and we're making higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. So, wow, it's looking good on the RSI, actually. Could there be another big move up? Certainly possible. Now, what we do on this channel is see if we can get any more hints from the astrology. So I ran a birth chart for Cardano right here. Might have to zoom out a little bit. Do that. Okay, there we go. And Cardano's in the middle. The planets are on the outside. Or where the planets are in the sky are on the outside. Cardano birth chart's in the middle. And we can use this handy dandy mode here where we can, I'm gonna actually go back to November of last year and see if we saw the astrology matching a breakout in November. We actually had a big negative before November. Saturn conjunct the Cardano Neptune, which is a big negative because Saturn can bring contractions and Neptune can bring confusion. So we arguably did get that contraction. Cardano was very low. What was it, in the 30s before November? 30s or 40s? And typically when we get a big negative, sometimes right afterwards, we can get a pump, and we did get that. There was some positives in November, but we didn't get a major positive until Pluto trining the Cardano Sun, and that started end of November, got a direct hit on November 30th, and lasted all the way through January. So let's see what happened around then. You know, we broke out, and we did get another pump up December and January before it fell back down. So, I mean, one of the reasons I don't cover the Cardano astrology very much on this channel is because it's not necessarily that accurate, but compared to other charts such as Bitcoin, but it can give little hints. Like here's another positive for December when we got that second rally for Cardano. But here it got this negative in January, February, bringing those dumps. So that is confirmed where we got this negative transit here. January, February, and then another one. So January and February was really negative astrology. Let's see what happened. January, we got a big dump. Arguably, was this like major market manipulation, the Trump pump, and then a dump right after? I don't even know if that counts. But overall, it mostly stayed down here. So the negative astrology was confirmed here for January, February. It matched up well with the price chart. That's what we want to see. If we head further out, I mean, March we get a negative Saturn squaring Saturn. We get the 2 eclipses. So the problem is we have this Neptune opposing the Cardano Sun, April 28th. So slight concern there. We get Saturn conjunct the Cardano Chiron, which could bring a bit of a contraction. We get quite a few negatives, and this is one of the reasons I wasn't like super excited to share Cardano astrology, but I got some requests to share it. Jupiter opposing the Cardano Saturn, May 3rd. That's not great. On the positive, we get Jupiter trining the Cardano Jupiter on May 25th. In the best case scenario, this could mark a peak, actually. Sometimes major Jupiter transits can mark a peak, so that's really interesting. Could there be a peak around the end of May for Cardano? Despite a bunch of these negative transits, which isn't looking great. And then negative summer transit, Saturn opposing the Cardano Sun, can bring more contractions in June through August. So interesting that we're not getting a lot of positive transits. Cardano still can break out. Sometimes it can go against the astrology. But overall, we're not seeing a lot of positive transits here. So it's not having me get very excited about buying Cardano at the moment. Could it still go up? Yes, it still could. It's really going to follow Bitcoin and the Bitcoin dominance. So I mean, if the Bitcoin dominance falls, Cardano is going to go up. But maybe not as much as people were hoping. So hate to be the bearer of potential bad news. So that's one of the reasons I am not choosing Cardano as one of my biggest bags. If you have Cardano, that's great. It still could do very well. It's done extremely well historically. It has one of the most, if not the most, highest, I believe, what is it called again? I haven't looked this up in a long time. Monthly developer activity. Cardano, the last times I looked, which was months ago, Cardano was on the very top of the list, which is extremely good sign. So I still think Cardano is a very good bet for the long term, extremely good. I feel very confident with Cardano for the long term. Just think in the short term, might not do as well as some were hoping. So just wanted to share that. Wanted to share this video since it got some requests. Wanted to follow through with integrity, as I did promise this. See if there's anything else we can look at. Daily exchange, 24-hour volume on the upper right corner here is going up 60% today. So that's good for crypto in general. The daily exchange volume still going down, still is in a downtrend. But perhaps this could turn around once this data updates. It looks like we're getting higher volume due to the Fed funds rate pausing and confirming that pause 12 hours ago. And from what I heard, Powell said that they plan to cut twice this year. So that is definitely on the bullish side for markets. So that's, in my opinion, why markets have been pumping recently, and Cardano's still been holding up. So not bad. We'll take that, right? We will take that. We can take anything we can get at this point. So we'll wait for the stochastic RSI to reset. It could reset to 0 here soon, and perhaps we could get a stochastic RSI cross up, which could bring another pump. All right, thanks everybody for watching, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.